Hi, this is Margaret from Margaret's Crafts. I thought I'd start a new little series on getting back to my roots, so to say, with the Cricut. I have a Cricut Create, had it since, oh boy, almost when they came out. I got it at, excuse me, I got it at Michael's on the Thursday of Thanksgiving when they have that sale on Thursday. I got that, and I got a couple cartridges years and years and years ago. Still working good for me. And I used to make a lot of videos on the different cuts and how to cut them out and how to glue them together and what I used and stuff. So I thought I'd get back to that, and I'm calling this like the Cricut Cartridge Exploration series or something I'm going to put in there. And the cartridge that I'm going to start off with is the right here, the Create a Critter. And I thought I'd start from the beginning. I have all my books. I took the spiral bind out of them and I put them in these little books that I found right here, and I just punched them all out. And here is, I used the Avery tabs and made up tabs for everyone, for every cartridge. And we're going to start off with the frog, Prince Charming frog with the dragonfly. And I number all of my pages, if you ever watched my videos before, 1-1, and that'll tell me that this is number, it goes according to the overlay. Number 1-1 is where you'll find this one. Okay, to start off with, we're going to make the background, and then we're going to go up into layers 1, and then layers 2, and layers 3. And we're going to show you how I do that on the Cricut. For the first part, I need the background, which is going to be the in black. I already cut my pieces out, my little pieces of paper, and stuck them all to my mat so that they're ready to go. Okay, to start this off, we're going to cut it at 3.5 inches. And we're just going to hit row 1, number 1. And hit cut. Okay, now we're going to bring it down for the second cut. The second cut is going to be layers 1, and that's the one in the darker green. So just bring use your directional keys and bring your blade to your mat. And we're going to, this time, we're going to hit our layers 1 button and 1-1. We're still not doing a shift or anything. And hit cut. Our next cut is over here. It's the little piece that goes onto his belly. That's layers 2. So use your directional key for the lighter green, and now we're going to hit the layers 2 button and the frog again, 1-1, and hit cut. You don't need to touch the sizing or anything like that. Okay, now the last cut is going to be the little cheeks. They're just 2 little red dots. So move your directional to your next spot. And that one is layers 3, no shift, just hit the frog again. So go down and hit your layers 3, hit your frog, and cut. Okay, those are all the pieces to make the frog. Let's put him together now. Okay, here are all your 4 pieces. You're going to start with your base piece, and the glue that I like to use, and I've been using, is Scotch Quick Dry Adhesive. You're going to put your lighter green, remove all his extra little pop-out pieces, your darker green, and you're going to glue the back of him. And this is a fast drying glue, so you want to get your pieces on there and down. Just line him up on there. Okay, that's layer number 1. Now your layer number 2, which was your second shift, was his belly. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see that there's little lines that cut out on his belly, and that just shows you the placement of the next piece. It goes right there. So let's put our glue on the back of it. And glue that down. Our last piece for him is his little cheeks. The little dots for his red cheeks. It doesn't say where you have to have them or which direction. You know, there's 2 different sizes. So I'm just going to put one on one side. Glue that down. And one on the other side. And that's your frog. He's all set to go. Okay, now we're going to cut out the accessories to go with the frog. With the frog, he has a crown, he has a lily pad, and then he has Prince Charming. And as you can see, they show that you put the Charming in a different color to overlay your Prince Charming. Let's make those now. Okay, now we're going to make the lily pad. And we're going to cut the lily pad at the 3.5 inches, just like we cut the other items. But you'll notice the lily pad cut at 3.5 inches will cut to fit the 3.5 inch frog that we did. If you cut it, it's not going to come out at 3.5 inches. It's going to come out a little bit bigger than 3.5 inches. So let's load our paper. We're going to leave that set at 3.5 inches. And the lily pad is the accessories key, and there's no shift, and then you're going to hit the frog right there. Okay, so the accessories key is this one right here, and we're going to hit the frog, then cut. Okay, then we're going to do our words right there, the Prince Charming. And as you can see, we're going to have to hit the shift key to get the second color. So we're going to hit our phrase button for our phrase button. First we're going to hit our phrase button for the words Prince Charming and our base color. Then our accent color, we're going to hit shift to get the second one. So let's go on with that. We're in our phrase button, which is right here. But we don't want this to cut at 3.5 inches. If you cut this at 3.5 inches, for this one, it's going to be 3.5 inches long. I don't want that one. So I'm going to reduce this one to 1.5 inches. Okay, so now we're going to hit our phrase button. We're going to hit the frog button. Let's get our paper set for where we want it to sit at. Okay, now we're going to hit cut. Okay, now we're going to do the charming in the accent color. And what we're going to need to do, we're going to keep it set on phrase, but we're going to hit shift when we hit the frog this time. Let's get up to our next color. Okay, we have it on phrased. We're going to hit shift and the frog. Okay, now I want the crown to go on my frog right there because this is Prince Charming, so this is under accessories and shift. Up top means you need to hit your shift button. So let's get our paper set to where I want it to go. I'm putting in a goldish color crown. And we're going to hit accessories, shift, and our frog. But this time, to make it fit the frog, you're going to have to put it back to the size of the frog. And cut. Okay, we're going to remove everything from our mat. Okay, here's our frog we cut earlier. Here's his little lily pad for the frog to sit on. That's why you have to keep him cut at 3.5 to make him fit properly on his lily pad. You also needed to keep the crown set at the 3.5. And your phrases are one of the only things that you can set at anything that you want them to be set at for the size. Okay, we're going to put a little bit of glue to put our crown on our prints. I'm just putting a little bit of glue at the bottom of our crown there. Make sure these are punched out. And putting our crown right there on our prince's head. Okay, there's our prince. Let's put a little bit of glue down at his bottom of his feet, have him sitting on his lily pad. Okay, there's our frog, King Frog, sitting on his lily pad, our prince. Okay, and here's the words Prince Charming. Like I said before, if I would have cut this out bigger, it would have been the whole large size for the 3.5 inches. I didn't want the big Prince Charming. I don't think it would fit on a card or in a scrapbook page. So I picked out a smaller size. And the way I picked out my sizes, I have Design Studio. You can always go into Design Studio and download the trial version. And the way I do this, if you don't have a Gypsy, is to just pull up a cartridge, click on there to see what size you want the thing to be, and you can see if the thing is going to be too large or too small, so you don't have to keep cutting and throwing things away, cutting and throwing things away. You can see exactly what size they're going to cut, and you know if it's the size that you want it to be. Okay. Here is our charming, and we're just going to put this on the bottom of our prints part. So let's just glue that down. Then what I would do is when I'm done with this, I would take my stickles and go over like this part, this different coloring part. And with my stickles, I would go over the tips of his crown with your stickles. Maybe even add a little bit of something to his cheeks to give it a little bit of an accent. And you just want to layer that on top. I would take like my red stickles and do the red heart on the Prince Charming part. And there's the Charming, Prince Charming. You can cut that out in any color. And I thought that would look cute with that one right there like that. And the last thing I'm going to show you how to do is to cut the dragonfly that's on the page with it. And that'll be all the cuts for this page. Only thing I didn't do was add a shadow. You can add a shadow to it. All it's going to do is cut a black, like a 1/4 of an inch or an 1/8 of an inch around the edge just to add a little shadow. I didn't really feel like I needed that, so I didn't cut it. But I am going to show you how to cut the dragonfly now. He's very simple to do, just as the other things were. Okay, I'm going to load my mat now. Now with the dragonfly, we're going to need to do the shift. The dragonfly is in the shift position. The frog is the lower position, and the dragonfly is in the shift position. So you're going to go ahead and hit your shift. He's on the same page as we're going to take off any of the other keys. We're going to hit our shift, and he's in the same position as the frog. So we're just going to hit shift, press the frog, and cut. The next section is our layers 1, which is the center of the dragonfly. We're going to hit our layers 1 and hit our frog again and hit cut. Our next position is going to be our wings of our dragonfly, which is going to be layers 2 and shift. Layers 2, shift, and hit the frog or dragonfly button and hit cut. Okay, we have our 3 pieces we need for this. And the first thing we're going to do is make sure we pop out those little places on our little face of our dragonfly, his mouth and his eyes. Okay, now we're going to just glue him down. To the center. Now I'm going to glue his little wings on. And the next one. And there we have him. We have our little dragonfly. And I would take some stickles. Let you see him. I would take some stickles and go on his wings. And then the different little color stickles on him. And here are all of your cutouts for that first page. Here is your prince. There is your frog prince. There is your dragonfly, because I made him littler because I didn't want him the same size as our frog. And then we have our Prince Charming. So you can see it all better. There's our Prince Charming, our dragonfly, and our frog prince. That's the very first page of how simple it is to do all your pieces for your Create a Critter. The rest of the pieces are made just the same. The only thing you have to be careful is when you're cutting something out is the phrases. The phrases will be a larger size if you print them out the same size as if you're printing out some of the other things. You leave all your sizes the same when you're printing out your parts for him. Even if it's a tree branch, you're going to still cut it out at the same size that you're cutting him out. They're made to go along with that. Like I said, the only difference being the phrases. The phrases are the only ones that you're going to have to watch to pick what size you want to cut it out. And that's why I use the Design Studio or the Gypsy to hit the size and figure out what size do I want those phrases to be. And that's our exploration of the Create a Critter cartridge. We'll have another cartridge exploration coming up soon. Thank you very much for watching my video. Bye.